Yo, it's Brian here. Today, I'm going to be talking about the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to be talking about the NFL draft needs for the 49ers this year, coming in April or May. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen soon enough. But let's just dive into it. But before I get this video started, got this hat right here. I think I wore this a long time ago. Kind of found it in my house in Charlotte, so decided to wear it right now. I don't know why, but gotta get a little change of scenery right here for me and I guess for you guys as well. So hope you guys enjoy, and let's just get into it. Now, the 49ers, they did a pretty good job near the end of the season. I think you all know, summer, yay. Jimmy Garoppolo, savior for the 49ers. No quarterback is needed for this draft anymore. We don't have to look for Baker Mayfield or Josh Rosen or all those other quarterbacks from this year's draft and what have you. I'm not a fan of any of the quarterbacks, to be honest with you. Now we got Jimmy Garoppolo and CJ Beathard as our quarterbacks. We don't have to worry about that position. That position is no longer a need, and I'm happy to say that. No free agency, no draft. This time, the 49ers can focus on stuff to improve around Jimmy Garoppolo and the defense as well, because they can use a little bit of help, and I think with this draft and free agency, I think it's going to really elevate the 49ers into playoff contenders potentially. I don't know exactly, but I feel like with this roster right now, the way they were playing in 2017, if they can keep it up, they can definitely make the playoffs for 2018. So let's go. All right, so the top three needs for the 49ers, in my opinion, are interior lineman, wide receiver, and defensive end. I think those are the three biggest needs for the 49ers right now in the draft. I think interior lineman is number one in my opinion, because Brian Hoyer, CJ Beathard, before they were getting beat up like crazy, especially CJ Beathard. I felt really bad for him. I think one game, I don't remember which one, but I think he got sacked like 4 or 5 times. I felt very bad for him. Man, gosh, Jimmy Garoppolo didn't take a big beating as much. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo was able to take the ball faster, was able to avoid the sacks and avoid the pressure and what have you. So I guess that's a lot of experience right there. CJ Beathard, hopefully everything goes well for him whenever he needs to play. I still think offensive lineman is still a big need for the 49ers, just in case, so I don't get my man, our golden boy, Mr. Handsome Jimmy Garoppolo. A lot of people like to call him handsome for some reason. He is a handsome guy. Nothing right there, but you know what I mean. I don't want him to get beat up, and I'm pretty sure nobody in Niner Nation wants him to get beat up, because that would be so unfortunate if he gets injured next season, and I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. In today's NFL, everyone's getting injured like crazy. I mean, Odell Beckham, J.J. Watt, all these good stars end up going out during the middle of the season. Injuries happen. It's the NFL. That kind of sucks. So offensive lineman, it looks really good. I would say it's better in the last season, in the last couple of games, than it was in the beginning of the season. Joe Staley, Trent Brown, always a freaking beast, even though Joe Staley's getting up there in age. If we can fix the interior lineman, then I think we should be set on offensive lineman. I might talk about free agents that might help the 49ers in the offensive lineman position and other position needs in another video, but right now I'm just going to be talking about the draft and position needs in particular. So offensive lineman, always crucial. No offensive lineman, no help, because you can just ask, I don't know what the bad team is, but you can ask what right now. I guess the Dallas Cowboys, they're pretty good. I mean, they're not as good as a couple of years ago. They had some injuries, Tyron Smith, but when they're out there, man, they're out there. That offensive lineman is just freaking big and freaking destructive right there, I would say. Offensive lineman, a big need for the 49ers. All right, let's get into the next one. The next one I would say is wide receiver. Now, I'm going to be changing this a little bit. I don't think we need to look for a number one receiver right now. I think Marquise Goodwin can be a number one receiver under Jimmy Garoppolo. If this was another quarterback, I would not say Marquise Goodwin is a number one receiver. I'd say he's a deep threat, maybe almost number one, but he's a number 2 receiver in my opinion for any team. With Jimmy Garoppolo, he could be number 1 receiver for him. And Pierre Garçon, he was injured. He never got to play under Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think he did. He's going to be coming back in 2018, I think. I don't think there's anything crazy, any trades or whatever, but assuming Pierre Garçon comes back, which I think he will, it's going to be even better. Jimmy Garoppolo, the talent that he had to work with, I mean, it's not the best talent that the 49ers have this year, but next year they're going to be even better, in my opinion, with him, Marquise Goodwin, Pierre Garçon, Trent Taylor, Victor Bolden Jr. I hope he gets more time. I think he was injured, unfortunately. Hopefully he gets more playing time. I think with a full offseason with Kyle Shanahan's offense and the way it's going to expand even more, because last year he didn't really get a chance to expand on the playbook because he only had a couple of games. He didn't really have enough time to warm up, I guess you can say, for the whole season, because he was on the bench with New England. With everything, with all the off-season stuff and programs and training camp, I think this core is going to be even better. You got the running backs, of course. Carlos Hyde, he's a free agent, but I think they're going to re-sign him eventually. Joe Williams, he's out there waiting. He's on IR from last year, so that should be able to work out. Matt Breida, Raheem Morstead, I think he's a free agent as well, but I think he's a restricted free agent. It's a weird situation with Morstead, but it's going to be really exciting to see this offense going together, and also George Kittle, really good tight end, emerging as a good tight end for the 49ers right now. I'm just really excited for this offense. I mean, the past couple of years, I have not been excited for the offense with Blaine Gabbert, Colin Kaepernick. It's been pretty stale. I got to blame the coaches for all that. Jim Tom Sula and Jeep Christ, very bad. Chip Kelly couldn't really get anything going. I kind of feel bad for him, but couldn't really get anything going. Kyle Shanahan, he just needed the right quarterback, and he finally has his quarterback, so he can unleash his playbook like he did in Atlanta, and it should be a great time. Hopefully, he can replicate the offense like he did in Atlanta, except Super Bowl time near the end, but I think it can work out. Wide receiver, not a dominant receiver, but someone that we can rely on in third down situations maybe, and another target along with Marquise Goodwin and Pierre Garçon. I think it's going to work out really well. Got to add another target for Garoppolo, and it should be even better in my opinion. Offensive line and wide receiver on the offensive side of the ball, I think it should work out. Now, defensive end, I think that's a big need. At first, I was like, you got these young guys, Solomon Thomas and what have you, trying to emerge as a great defensive end, but you know, I'm looking at the sack total. They were, I think, in the middle of the pack, a little bit lower echelons in the NFL in terms of sacks by the defense. Hopefully, they can get some more. They need to get a dominant pass rusher. And one person I do like from the draft this year is, I think, Bradley Chubb from NC State. That guy looks like a freaking stud, and then it'd be really cool if we can get with the 9th or 10th pick, but I think he's going to be gone way then, and it'd be nice to trade up for him. I would actually trade up for him, to be honest with you. I really like this guy from NC State, so if they can get him, that's great, but if not, then they can focus on something else. Defensive end, got to get the sack totals up, got to pressure the quarterback even more. That's really pretty much it for all these draft needs. Wide receiver, interior lineman, defensive end. I think if they can get all that together from free agency in the draft in particular, then I think they'll be fine. And I would say defensive back, but literally the last couple of weeks, they've emerged as a great defensive backfield. I would say Adrian Colbert, Eric Reed, from linebacker back to, I think, free safety now, looks really good. I mean, Eric Reed kind of struggled for the past season or two. I mean, he wasn't like his 2013 rookie season Pro Bowl form. Now he's looking like that guy again. Hopefully he can stay away from the concussions, because he's had some concussions issues early on in his career. I think he had 2 in his rookie season. That was pretty unfortunate, but what can you do, right? And I think Dante Johnson's on the other side, NC State guy as well. I'm liking this backfield right now. I think it's a lot better than it was in the first couple of weeks of the season, and some rotation changes from Robert Saleh. Boom, not too bad at all, not too bad. So I'm not really concerned about the defensive backfield, although it'd be nice to get some depth, as always, for the defensive backfield or any other position that the 49ers need. But those 3 positions that I mentioned are the biggest needs that they should be addressing in the first couple of rounds from 1 to 3, in my opinion, and in free agency as well. I like the draft more than free agency. I'm not a big fan of free agency as much as the draft, because, hey, you have to overpay people in free agency to get what you want. Sometimes they don't even fit your system. Sometimes they're not the best players at all. They're not the way that they were before in the other team. Not the biggest fan of free agency, but maybe it can work out. That's going to be pretty much it, you guys. Please let me know what you guys' draft needs are for the 49ers. Are they the same as mine? Are they different? Do you guys have something else on your mind? Do you guys agree with me? All that cool stuff. Please comment below. If you guys like this, please like, subscribe, do whatever you want with this, and I'll be catching you guys up later. So I hope you guys have a nice day, nice weekend, nice whatever. Sorry this video was a little bit long, but got to talk about the draft, because the draft is the most exciting part of the year in the offseason. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys. Love y'all.